Teaching business English requires knowledge, but it also requires practice and experience. If you are an English teacher and you're not sure which textbooks to use when it comes to teaching business English, keep watching this video to find out. Before we dive into the main part itself, go subscribe to my channel right now not to miss any future videos about teaching and freelancing. I post videos once a week every Saturday, so go do it now. Let's get started. The first textbook that I want to recommend for those of you who teach business English or want to teach business English is called Market Leader. Market Leader is like the classical book out of all available to teach business English. And even though some materials might be a bit outdated, I like this series because it offers great authentic articles and also great case studies. So personally, when I teach my students business English, those of them who need it, I really don't use it as the core, as the foundation of our course, but I always include some articles from Market Leader as well as some case studies. So feel free to use my strategy as well, but go check it out. It's still a great book. The second textbook that I want to recommend for business English is called Business Result. And Business Result has also been around for quite a while. So when you see that book, when you look through the content, you might find some videos a bit boring or a bit irrelevant and outdated too. But that's normal because, life is changing so fast and we need to find the materials which suit our students best. What I like about Business Result is that it teaches great business vocabulary as well as great phrasal verbs and collocations that students who need business English, they need to know that stuff. Business Result also offers great thought-provoking conversation starters. So if your students need to learn how to talk better and how to present themselves better, Business Result is great. So go check it out as well. Like I said, with the Market Leader, you might need to kind of filter the materials through and only choose those which are indeed relevant for the student that you are teaching or that you want to be teaching and plan to be teaching in the future. So that is my brief summary of Business Result. And before I give you the third book that I recommend to teach business English, I just want to make a little remark because of course there are more resources and there are more textbooks to teach business English, but the ones that I'm choosing here and the ones that I'm sharing in this video with you seem to work in the best way for me and for my students. So I've really seen the progress when I'm using these textbooks. But of course, if you want to do some further research and if you want to find other materials and other resources and links and books as well, feel free to check out other YouTubers who talk about that, or just do your own research on Google. Of course you can. Yeah, so that the list doesn't stop here. But still, if I were you, I would just honestly stick to these three and find the perfect combination, or actually build that perfect combination based on these three textbooks because they seem to be the best, honestly. With that being said, the third textbook that I recommend to teach business English is called Business Partner. And Business Partner is the freshest out of all three. And I like this book because it has interesting topics and issues which are relevant today. It also offers curious texts as well as resource banks full of goodies. Business Partner also has some disadvantages in my opinion. So as you can tell, there isn't really a perfect textbook to teach business English because, well, it's really difficult to build one and things change so fast in business and in life generally right now. So it's really challenging to build one perfect book. So you might want to combine and mix and match. For instance, study case studies from Market Leader and then use the vocabulary and collocations from Business Results. Oh my gosh, the names are so similar. Business Results. And then use something else, and the conversation starters from Business Partners. So it's really about finding that system that works for you and of course for your students. That's the most important thing. So the problem with Business Partner is that sometimes the levels and the materials offered in this book are not as challenging as, for instance, given in the first and the second textbook that I talked about. So you might want to, complicate the things a bit more, or maybe just find other relative materials to add to the core of Business Partner to make things more challenging and more productive so that the student doesn't feel like they're not making any progress. Also, the videos given in Business Partner are a little bit fake at times and a bit too stereotypical, so maybe they did this in order to convey the point better. But personally, I'm very cautious, with those videos because okay, if you check out the book, you'll see what I'm talking about. Feel free to use other videos, go on YouTube, find something else. You'll have plenty of choices, really, so you don't need to stick to business partner videos. Well, these are the 3 textbooks which you can use to teach business English. So once again, they're Market Leader, Business Result, and Business Partner. Like I said before, make sure to test them out together and mix and match and find the perfect system and the perfect strategy to help you bring your students towards their goals, right? Because that's the bigger picture that you always need to keep in mind when you choose a textbook. It's not about something being super interactive. It doesn't have to be super relevant all the time. You have to make sure to try to keep it as relevant as possible, but sometimes you might need to go back to the basics and something that was created a while ago. But if it gives you if it gives your student a great understanding of something, feel free to use it. It doesn't have to be perfect all the time. But once again, test it out with your students. Ask them for feedback, ask them which materials seem to be most necessary to them and which materials they find interesting, right? So always ask for feedback. That's super, super important. And that is the end of today's video. I hope you have found it useful and interesting. If you have, please leave it a like below and maybe write me a comment. I really enjoy talking to you and hearing your feedback to make my videos better for you and more relevant for you. I'm using the same system that I use with my students. I ask you for feedback, even if it's criticism, but it's not a hateful comment, like "you suck" kind of thing. Like that will get deleted and blocked. But if you have some relevant criticism to make my videos better and more useful for you, please talk to me and tell me those moments. Well, it was Lily here, and thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye bye.